Well, when your wife's 2017 Buick Lacrosse hasn't been serviced in about 2 years, it's time. Wheel bearing in the back over here, back passenger corner. It's been, 2 years that it's been bad as well. So apparently, that's what I'm doing today. I'm Terry. This is the Getting Dirty Off-Road channel. We don't have any special names for Lacrosse, but it's time to bring it up and get it done. Alrighty, now that we've got it right up here where we can see things, there's nothing really special about this car. It is comfortable, pretty much reliable, all-wheel drive, so, you know, around these Wyoming roadways, that helps. Somebody likes to curb the wheels. It ain't me. Definitely ain't me. But anywho's, I digress. Whatever that means. What are you? Too big. Too small. What the hey? I thought I've used this on there before. Oh. It's a 3/4 selection. Ugh. You gotta get these where you can get some leverage. I had it up too high, I almost fell. Ugh. Giving you my, that's tight face. Oh man, I was feeling it last time. I don't know, maybe a tire shop fixed a tire on this. I don't remember which side. Might have been this one. I don't know. They're tight. Which ain't always a bad thing. So we got that. Let's get this busted apart and swap a wheel bearing out. Hopefully I can prove that's what the noise is. I don't really want it to be transferring out of this old little gearbox back there. How about one more click? Oh yeah, now I just want to point out again this lift. Did this all on my own. The wifey actually did it for me, so I owe her a big one. I should probably get her car fixed up, but we got this, and I'll tell you what, my skid steer is probably still the best thing I've ever bought, but this lift right here is giving it a run for its money. And if you're going to buy this, bite the bullet, get the air jack to go with it, because that's the only way to do it. Yeah, ta-da-ta-ta-ta. Got a little air hose, got a little jack. Now, let's see where it's going to work to be best. Well, there's a body bolt right there to the subframe. Somewhere along them A-arms. Yeah, maybe. That's pretty sturdy there, I think. Looks good, looks good. Bring this. Ooh, that was noisy. What was that? Let's bring this on this side. Up just a little. Just a little. Okay, yep, Seems pretty sturdy right there. We don't want to do it on these swing arm thingies. They're not even A-arms. I don't know what those swing, I don't know. You don't want to do it on those, because that'll bend them. So we'll catch it right under the main support of the body right there where it all attaches. There's a big heavy duty bolt and everything's pretty solid. So, going up. Alrighty then. Air compressor. Okay. So, you saw she went up quite a ways. So, two parts. One, there's a lot of swing in these arms. Two, I wanted my air jack to get up to where my little safety latch would click behind the catch, you know. I already dropped a tire on it earlier, if we're going to tell the truth, out from under a pickup truck. And bam! Down she came. Luckily, all the kids were safe. So, we'll get this taken apart now that it's way up there, right where we need it. Truth be told, I don't know if this would break them loose or not. It's kind of moody sometimes. But also, I kind of like to break them loose and give them the final oomph by hand. Because then I'm not killing them studs, even though I've got some new ones right now. But it's just a habit I've always been in. I'd say Mama needs some new tires too. They're only, well, what are they? 2019, so I guess can't complain, but that winter, she'll be coming. And then we'll have to get some new ones. Well, the inside of them on both sides, I looked over there too, but the inside of that tire's, it's really kind of cutting the edge. But they're evenly doing that, so maybe it's just the brand tire. Now I have had this on a jack once before, and I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell if it was bad, but when you're up inside, you're up in the cabin there, and you're ripping down the road, and it's freaking shaking everywhere, and all the noises. It's pretty much right over here with this back door, so we suspect it's this guy here. So let's compress these brakes down a little bit so we can get them off of there without ruining anything, preferably. You know, I'm gonna throw one of my favorite tools at it no matter what kind of rig it is. That's just how she goes, you know. Let's see. Where's it going? Maybe this won't work. Let's try here. Just a little pressure, just slight. We don't want issues. Yeah, I don't really like that. You know, and it's got this electronic park brake system, you know, because it's all push button joystick and all that weirdness. So even though it's not set, yeah, maybe I can tell it's bad now, but so even though it's not set per se, I don't know for sure. Do I need to pop the bleeder screw to help me out here, maybe? No. I don't know. Let's see. Maybe just not be a sissy about it. Well, you know what? That's silly. Why didn't you guys yell at me? I'm sitting here prying on the bracketry that holds the caliper. That ain't never gonna work. Ever. What is it? I need to get behind that. I know what to do here, but what do you do here? It's like this big too. There's not much brake pad or nothing to get a hold of. Maybe I just need to stop trying to use such big tools all the time and tone her down here a little bit. Can you guys hear that one fly in here? There's only one. And well, I think it's trying to tell me I smell bad at something. Oh yeah, it won't take much. I just gotta lean on it a little bit. How's everybody's day? This is sometime in July. You'll probably be watching this in January. You know how I am. Slow. Oh, took a little piece of that pad. That's okay. Yeah, so I'm probably... Really? Like I was saying, I probably need to step up my editing a little bit. Get things out a little bit quicker. But if any of you know how the shift work goes, well, that's my excuse. And I'm probably going to stick to it. Yeah, anyways, it's July, it's hot, which is okay. It's not as hot as a little trip we just took to the south, but it's still pretty hot here for what we're used to. Come on, you little. You know what? Maybe I got it just enough, and get it off, and then I can squeeze it down just a little bit out here. How about that? Okay then. What's that? Okay. I'm learning with you guys, so if you're here to learn technical things, I'm sorry you wasted your time. We're going to figure it out together, though. That's what we do here. Man, I really should maybe move you guys over here where I'm doing everything, but I don't know if you want to really be over here. 13 millimeters on the 2 bolts that come through these brackets that hold your caliper stuff. Does that need some sort of little weird nut thing? You know what? You guys better come and look. Okay, so we've got our bolt here. There's some sort of weird little nut thing right here. I'm thinking maybe I need to hold that with a wrench, because it's just turning, and I'm not sure what exactly is happening, but what I think's going on is this nut is what this bolt threads into, and the rest of it's just a slide pin. So let me grab a wrench for that. Okay. I knew that was going to be wrong. Man, it's got weird little shoulder on it too, so these wrenches are a little fat for that. How's this one? That's pretty much the right size, but it ain't going to go on there because of this weird little washer shoulder piece that's on it. I don't like that much, but there's something else we can do. Alrighty, so basically, as we all know, I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing here. I'm just gonna do it though. So, brought out the universal tool. And thinking of vice grips, wonder what that Derek is doing today. He's probably having more fun than me. And I guarantee you, he ain't working on nothing in the 2017. So anyways, like we had guesstimated, the bolt goes into this nut hoodus. The other side of this nut funny hold this bolt down system, there is a slide pin in there. That one's moving pretty good, so we ain't even gonna mess with that. But yeah, so anyways, if all else fails, get you one of them universals. Oh, you know what? I should leave that bolt in there a little bit so this caliper's not trying to move on us. So we'll just thread that in there to keep it in place for a minute. And pop that top one loose and then put the universal tool on it. But be careful up here because there's electronics up there that you probably don't want to break on. And you don't need a whole lot. So I guess, you know, maybe them channy locks would work too. Or you get a skinny wrench. I couldn't seem to find a skinny wrench here. Anyways. Here's that guy now. So get these. Off and out of the way there. And then, like I said, watch your electronic. This is an electric park brake. So when you put these into park, I don't know for sure if there's an actual pin in the transmission or not, but it's got a push button park brake system too. So right here's where that happens. I'm going to go ahead and break all the rules and just let it dingle dangle on that brake line. You know, we're not getting crazy over here. I think it'll be okay. So now we need to get this bracket here. Get that off from there. Which is just a couple bolts of a bigger flavor. You guys didn't think I'd bring tools over there and be prepared, did you? Yeah, me neither. You know, had I brought a pile of tools over here that I thought was going to work, they wouldn't have. You know, the top one might have to do the old wrench. That socket, the swing arm right up here is kind of in the way a little bit. You know, so I might, maybe I could force the socket up in there, but it might just be better to do the all end wrenches. Oh, yeah. Okay, so I just wiggled that drive shaft that comes on here to the back. It must have a parking pin in the transmission. I mean, I don't know why it wouldn't, but these newer vehicles, just, you never know. But anyways, this electronic stuff right here must just be the parking brake. Okay, now this top bolt, I've got my closed end of the wrench on there, but I'm only going to be able to just get it loose because it is close in there. So that's all we're going to get on that side of the wrench. I might as well just hook it up down here too, I guess. Show you all the ways to not do things. Yeah. Okay. Oh, and I switched sides on you in case you didn't notice. Thought maybe I'd get my big head out of your way. Was that a third one or? No, that's the wheel bearing bolt. Okay. Well, Jiminy Christmas. I got a ratchet right here. What am I doing on this bottom one? Speed it up a little, would you? Got other things to do. Old Floyd needs a U-joint. And I might have to go up one more click. This is kind of twisting my neck. Okay, there's the bottom ones out. Yeah, there it is. There you go. I guess I probably should have left that bolt in to hold it too, but you know, whatever. I'll just hold it by hand. So anyways, you guys, any of you got any pointers for me? Any tips, tricks, things that I should be doing or not doing, advice? Maybe I should just give it up and stop trying to be a video idiot. I mean, what do you guys think? Some of this stuff's a little tough out here in Wyoming where we live, but I don't think I'll be moving anytime soon, so I probably should have stayed back there. But so anyways, I mean, you guys throw it down there in those comments if you got anything to say. I'll be glad to take a little advice if it helps me get going or shut it down. I mean, whatever. Gonna be doing all this crap on my own anyway, so I just thought, you know, maybe I could get in that video club. Anywho, yeah, so there's that. The brake pads stay right in it. I did kind of chunk them a little bit. You know what? There's enough there. I think they'll be okay, so don't do that. Our bolt is kind of wedged up there, but it came out enough that we could do it. So, you know, if I lifted this corner up, I could probably get it out of there just fine. So, before we get crazy on those wheel bearing bolts, shh, you guys, I'm trying to hear it. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Yep. It's making noise. Now, this is how you should change wheel bearings. I don't quite understand what Ford was doing with that little escape I did on the front, but this is how you change wheel bearings. You just give me the whole hub, okay? It's already assembled. Now, the escape's still going strong and they're working well. But I'd prefer to just bolt one in that's already made. I did get a new press out of it, so I guess maybe I should say thank you, Ford. Anyways, like I was saying before everybody listened, let's get this nut because I know this is the back of the car. What are you looking at? I guess you're looking at the corner of me, but anyways, let's move. You're gonna have to, yeah, I don't know, something like that. How do you feel about that? Anyways, I know this is the back of the car, but like I said, it's an all-wheel drive, so we need to get this axle nut off before we unbolt the hub, or we're gonna be in a world of hurt trying to get that off. So let's do that. All right, I just had to change my overdone battery in that camera. I don't know if I need to find a different, I don't know. What do you guys think? This thing, if it's too cold, it won't work. If it's too warm, it won't work. I don't understand it. Anyways, I've got the old 1.25 inches because I don't have a 34. But this 1.25 inches is pretty tight on it, so we're gonna go with it. Ouch! That was a not so funny bone. Oh man! My whole arm is dead. Oh, I cut it too. That's weird. Probably right there. Anyways, don't do that. That didn't work out. Woo, that hurts. Okay. Oof. I don't know what I hit my arm on over here, but ouch. Oh, that's what I did wrong too. So I had my pry bar in there. If you're gonna do this method, I had my curve going this way and it just slid right off. I'll bet you guys probably saw it on video. Probably laughing. Guys, you're probably not too concerned with how I feel about it. Okay, so that's gonna be a little better. Of course, now I'm all gun shy. So I'm thinking maybe we see what the torques in this will do. Probably nothing. My arm is still numb. Come on, I need you back. Need to put you in, coach. Okay, so we got a little swapperoonie on that. Let's see. Okay, well, I would recommend maybe just doing that. Save yourself a gashing. Looks worse than it probably is. I can't even hardly feel it. Of course, my whole arm's still numb. Anyways, stop crying about it. That's done. Now, so I don't hurt my threads, let's see if this will do it. Probably not. Nope. Not today. Ain't happening. All right, fine. We're just gonna get a real smasher on you. How about that? Should I maybe squirt a little lube in there? I'd say it probably can't hurt none. This is that foam of the sea. Somebody told me it was better than Croyle, but I plan on telling him it ain't. Now, normally a guy would leave your nut on the end of the threads, but if you can see that nut, it's got kind of a crown to it. If you leave that on the end of there and whack it, you're definitely gonna damage it. So we ain't doing that. I ain't doing it. So what I think I might do is this guy so that it stays solid, and there it moved. A little bit more. Okay. Yep. That did it. All right, so now we've just got, well, you know what else? Before we get those wheel bearing bolts, there's a little screw right here. And I think that's holding this rotor to the hub, so let's probably take that out before we get down here where it's hard to do. And I end up cut again. Alright, so I do have some of those Torx on sockets. But as I look in my rusty little holder here, I'll bet you the one I need's gone. This one? Oop, nope. Yep, the one I need is not in here. So now I'm going to spend the rest of the day looking for... This one ought to do it. It's a... Well, it doesn't even say what it is. But it's a 1/4 inch drive, and I'm not sure if I can get that guy with it. So, back to searching. Is it this one right here that I left laying in another project? Yep. See, that's the trick. If you ain't got nobody else around moving your stuff around, kids, yeah, you know who you are. Anyways, if you ain't got all that happening, you just go back on the projects you've been messing with. You'll find your tools eventually. Okay, so now let's get this blood donor bar put back up. Can't go right there because that's clearly in the way. So let's put our blood donor bar right there, maybe. Then we can get up into that right there. Now you got to hold that in there good and straight. It ain't that tight. I probably could have done it with that 1/4 inch, honestly. But there, we've got this. And that'll get our rotor off. Man, that's a... They mean business with that screw. Okay. So there's the rotor. Don't look too bad. It's... You know, some of the older ones, they've got the old drum style park brake inside. But not this guy. It parks brake right on the main brake. So it's all just one thing. So set this over here, and now we're going to get into those hub bolts. Wheel bearings in the center. The hub is what's bolted. I mean, if we're going to get technical. But we don't do that on this show. We have no idea what we're doing. Okay, so it's going to be that. Looks like a 3-bolt pattern back here. So I might actually be able to get my big ratcheter on there. Alrighty, get a little leverage back. Well, maybe not. Maybe that axle. Dang it! So the axle, the rubber boot over, it's just got too much grease in it to get my socket in there on the big one. So we're back to the smaller one. And tough guy. This thing, can we pop it? Ooh, not really. Where's my pipe? You know, I probably got a 3/8 breaker bar somewhere, but you know, this is the same thing. Yeah, it'll be fine. Now, even at this point, it's not real obvious there's an issue here, but the noise up inside is just screaming wheel bearing over here. So we'll get you one, okay? You calm down. Where are you? Where's it at? Man, one of us should get on the other side, I think. Don't you? Probably figure out what we're doing a little easier. Okay, we got any actual, oh, I might, you know what? I think that one's gonna call for an extendor. This one? What's this one gonna say? That one's pretty good in there, so we'll get this guy. Oh yeah. Well, sure. I think it, well, why do they do that? They go loose on the ratchet, but you can't turn them. Oh, there we go. I guess I just gotta get a hold of it right. Just looking the wrong way is what happened there. Anyways, there's that. Let me find just a little stubby. Okay, I think this one might be sufficient. So, where was he again? You're back up there. Oh, stupid. I think my track bar is in the way now. Jeez. Either ain't long enough or too long. What in the world? Where'd you go? Oh, there it is. Is that what happened? Oh, yeah. There it is. Here it is. Okay. Try to keep all that straight while oofing it. I think that did it. Oof. Okay. Piece of cake. Didn't need that finger anymore. Make sure you hit your ratchet on everything. Then when the wife comes out, she knows you're really working. Oh man, my track bar got in the way. Jiminy Christmas. Now I'm stuck in there. It's gonna be Christmas time to get that bolt out. Goodness. Well, come on. Come on now, don't be scared. You have a good chance to hit me right in the face. Let's just do that. Come on. Come on. Come on. Not yet. It's got to be out. Your dust plate's spinning. Come on now. Fine. Fine. Okay, over there maybe? One of you guys? Somebody? Ooh. Well, that'll never work again. Alright. Now it's the freaking axle. The freaking axle. Yeah, that didn't work the first time. All I had to do was put Big Smasher up there and it got scared and fell off. Ooh, that's kind of funky. What's happening in here? Anybody? Anybody? Probably just it's supposed to be, I guess. Get that out of the way. Okay. So, kind of looking at it a little bit, wiggling it, spinning it. Looks like my boots are still in pretty good shape. This car's, it's over 100, 105,000 maybe, 107. So, you know, we run it. We're not scared to use it. I don't know. It's not obviously destroyed. Nothing obvious about it at all. But when you're driving it, you know something's wrong. So let's scrape some of this dirt out of there, maybe. And I'd give it a little hand wash, but that stuff has gotten expensive. It's like trying to buy a gallon of gas right now. There's a spider-infested rag right here. We'll just do that. I was going to elaborate a little bit on the price of fuelage, but y'all know. But I will put it this way. My old red-headed stepchild, if you don't know that truck, dig through my videos. It's in there. But that guy, girl, kid, whatever you want to call it, it's been sitting a lot. In fact, I had to go buy me another junker to drive to work because I just couldn't afford that anymore. So hopefully it'll come around and I can play in it again. Okay. Well, there ain't but just a couple things left to do, and that's one. Remember how that went? Like that. Two, I'm just going to go ahead and stick that bolt right back in there. You know, like that. Then we're going to take this new guy. Man, like I said, I can't tell. I really can't tell, honestly. I mean, this one's got a little bit of goo. Some of the goo berries are coming out of it. So it's definitely losing a little lube out of it. But just to do this, yeah, I really can't tell a difference, honestly. They're pretty dang similar. So anyways, let's wipe the goo berries off from this one. I got transferred from that one. And we'll just slam it together. How about that? Come on, give me a spline. Give me a spline. Okay. Okay. There it is. There you go. You think I should have anti-seized those? Well, I'm not going to, but it might be a good idea. Anti-seize your splines on your axle, maybe? I don't know. I mean, if you want to take it apart again. I didn't really plan to this time. Maybe I should start with the one I can get to easily, you know? Let's try starting with the easy one first. Let's keep it simple, stupid. Oh, yeah. Now we can come back to these grumpy spots and do those. What's that bolt over there? I don't know. It's extra. Okay. Is my track bar still in the way? How about if I go this way and get away from the track bar? That'd be a good idea. So now that I got them started, there's only 3, but I'm still going to go around the triangle as it snugs up and just ease them all in there to pull that bearing portion inside of the little housing there. We don't We don't want it. Alrighty, while this GoPro was cooling its jets, I went ahead and got all 3 of those bolts good and tight. I'm sure there's a torque, but it'll be right if it's good and tight. Same right here. I guarantee you this didn't over torque it, but it's good and tight. My ear meter says it's good and tight. So, now we'll throw that rotor back on. It's pretty much just the same as we took it off. Now, just pay attention to how you take things apart, and yeah, that's how you put them back together. So, one hole is threaded. Looks like that one right there is not. So, that's the one we're going to go for. And I'll put it back in the one that it was in, but any of these will work. You're not going to mess it up on this part of it. Now, if we all remember right, this was just tight. You don't want to put a whole lot of gooden on these little screws or they'll break them right off. So, just tight. Okay, there you go. You're just trying to hold the rotor, that's all. And now, we're going to bring this guy right here back into place. Come on, man. There it is. There it is. Oh, don't get cross-threaded on me now. Don't be getting silly. And I might have to lift this up a little bit just to get that swing arm out of the way to get that going. Let's try. Just gently, we'll try to thread on it a little. Yep. So it was just bound up, the head of the bolt was just bound up against that swing arm piece. It's threading in there good. And the threads on these 2 bolts, they're a little stiff. I mean, you're gonna wrench them all the way out and all the way back in, but as long as they're smooth, they can be stiff. But you know what? I didn't ear check this one. Oh, now I got stuff in the way making noise. Well, obviously it's better. I mean, come on now. It's WJB, made in China. You know it's better than what was on there. That's all I gotta say about that. Done. Here's the other one. There we go. Now somehow I managed to get a socket that fits that. Oh, I think I had it before actually. I just chose not to do it. But anyways, back to the top one. Let's finish that. Gotta get it all the way in there to get the boxed into the wrench on it. But again, I'm just going to keep saying it, okay? Again, all of this suspension is fully flexed all the way down. It's all the way flexed out. If we were to lift this center point right here up just a little bit, we could probably get a socket on there just fine. I like to do things the hard way for some reason. So, that's what I do. Okay, you want to be good and tight on here, but I don't think you need electric impact tight. Maybe 2 wrench tight, I don't know. Oh yeah, oh yeah, that right there is taut. And we'll come back to the bottom. Oh yeah, tight with the good one. Now, all we gotta do, put this caliper back on there. Make sure our electricals are going the right way that they should be going. Sweet. Now I didn't need to collapse that piston into the caliper any further. That was plenty. Just a little tiny bit's all you need. We'll throw our bolts back up in these guys. Now, I think it probably goes without saying, but I'll say it. When you tighten these bolts down, you're going to need to hold those sliders, which, by the way, the top one is sliding good too. But you're going to have to hold those with your universal tool so that you can get your bolts tight. Oh, that's not it. That's an extra. Here it is. Yeah, I think just a pair of pliers would do you on these. They ain't gotta be crazy tight. You just want to make sure that the pins are sliding and you do get the bolt tight into the slider pins. And that's gonna be it. Right there, just tight. Then just make sure if you're gonna use the vice grips that you don't pull them into your electronics while they're clamped onto your nut part, your slider pin part. And you're tightening your bolt, you don't want to jam those jaws into your electronic brake there. You'll be doing more work than you wanted to. Oh yeah. That'll do it. Okay. Well, of course, we're going to hear noise now. Jeez. So, let's put the tire on. How about that? And you know what else I just noticed while I was standing here looking the other way? This shoulder right here I told you was wearing in. The other side's wearing in the inside. Both front tires are too, so it may just be this brand of tire. It's an Eagle of the good on each year, but they're also old too. Okay, so one thing I've noticed about Goodyears, I've had a few different styles. The cheaper the Goodyear, the cheaper the rubber, especially as it wears. The more expensive Goodyears, you'll wear them right down to the cords all the way across. I don't know, I'm just telling you. Same car, I seen it happen. Cheapies, funny wear. Spend a little more money. I got the cords out of them all the way across. What's your guys' favorite tire? Me personally, cheap, and none of them are anymore. We all know that. But all in all, looking at these tires, we were thinking this car on the ground sitting there just looking, you know, from behind or trying to look over the side and whatnot where you really can't see a lot of tire. We thought this tire was wearing out more, and being all-wheel drive, the horrible thing about that, you got to buy them all at once. I don't know how much difference front to back pairs you can get away with, but you got to buy them all at once, so it sucks. We thought this one was wearing out more than the others, but upon up here where we can see it review, they're all about the same, honestly, even though it's been 2 years since I rotated on them. Where'd my socket go? Oh, no, there it is. I found it. It's right here. It's right here now. Yeah, I'm going to hit them, but I'm also going to take it easy and make sure that the surface matches up flush. And I ain't going to jam on them like I did that old axle nut. Bam, just when it touches. Oh, just touched. Seems like it's on there straight. Wheel of Fortune. Hey, I didn't mean to kick you like that. Sometimes you got to stand back. Okay? Okay? Sometimes you got to take a step back when the game show host is playing. Bam. Just when they touch. Alright, I'm going to cheat a little bit. Okay, that's it. Alright. Don't be getting crazy. You can give them a little bit of the duggas, but don't be getting crazy. Well, that's just the brake pad catching a little bit. But it seems smooth. I don't know. Hopefully that fixed it. We'll find out. So now that all this is back together, I'll go ahead and drop my jack and I'll give it the... When something cracks, I'll stop. But guess I better go find out what the wifey has in store for this now. I don't know if I'm doing a full service right now or if that's going to get caught up directly. But I better go find out. Well, wifey just informed me I still have time, which I got all day tomorrow as well before I go back to work. But she'll drive it tomorrow, I'm sure. But we've got time tonight before dinner. We're going to go up another click and drop the oil. Gonna have to go get some filters, which will give this GoPro some time to cool its jets. Let's pop that oil plug. This is not gonna be good. Well, I might be able to get under there. I don't know, let's see. Well, it's been a while. So, yep, that's the wrong size. I knew that. How's about this one? Yep, that's pretty much it. Ooh, not really. What's going on there? He's trying to get roundy on me? Huh. Oh, what's going on here? Really? Maybe we'll try those 6 points. Oh, yep, that'll do it. Get this up here. We're fancy now. So now that I got it broke loose, I can sneak my wrench right here and get it like that. Probably gonna need a little room, I guess. It's a little hot. It's almost like she just came home from work. You know, honestly, for 2 years and I don't know how many miles, it's been a lot. That ain't too bad. It ain't too bad, really. Not as black as I thought it might be. It's not chunky, so that's good. Sweet. I wasn't worried. You know, I'll be honest with you, we definitely went too far. There ain't no doubt about that, going too far on this oil. But there is a difference on how far you can go. And for us, especially running Wyoming, even though she drives this back and forth to work, we ain't got a whole lot of the stop and go traffic. It just ain't there. Everything out in this state is 100 miles away. I mean, just from the house to where she works is 10, 12, something like that. So our vehicles are running a steady pace the majority of all of the time. So it doesn't scare me to put some more miles on than what's recommended. But if you live in them bigger cities and you're always on the stop and go stuff, you got to do it a little more often. And really, this one, it got neglected a little bit just because it's always on the move. We're always busy messing with something else. So that's totally my fault. I went this far without getting done, but as you see, it's not super bad either. So we'll take it. Let's go get some filters. Probably get rid of that Fram, you know. I've always done those, but I'm kind of liking those other ones a little bit better. Those black ones, they seem to be a little better. Alrighty, I'm back. Went and grabbed some of those O'Reilly filters. So, you know, she's getting wicks, oil, and air. Took the wifey to dinner too. I mean, that's important, you guys. You need to take them ladies out every now and then and treat them right. Tonight was Mexican. It wasn't Dawn's place, but it was that other one that it's better. Anyways, if you're from around here, you know, it's Jalisco's. So, get this plug in there. And I should have went up another click before I crowded myself in here. Gee whiz. Let's get this Fram out of there. It's got the grippy bottom, you know, so if you haven't been taking your supplements before your oil change, it shouldn't be too hard to take it back off. Boy, this drain can is really nice. Sure am glad I splurged on that. Oh, not bad. We could have got another 7 months out of it. 20,000 miles. I do like this car because the filter stands straight up and down. So you don't make a mess. It's not over the exhaust pipe. Whoever came up with this creation, well, they must have changed their own oil at least once. Because they did this engine up right. Anyways, here's the new filter, which actually is maybe just a little bit longer, which is okay. We got plenty of room to go down in length. Not much. But I did discover with old Floyd on our power tour that I do like how these filters take oil into them. John Deere on this one, the flag, American owned and operated. High mileage, check, check, check. 75,000 miles or more, yep. Supposed to prevent engine breakdown, maybe that's why it still looks so good. Seal conditioners. Well, it ain't smoking yet, so we're gonna throw in the old Max Life technology. And really, biggest reason I bought this, I've been using it for quite a few years, but the high mileage factor. Because everything around this place is high mileage. Since this one stands up so nicely on the engine, we'll go ahead and give her a priming up. A little bit of lube on the seal. Just like always, I get too much around the outside edge, and well, it doesn't flow back in there that good. So, gotta finger paint it a little bit. So there's not quite so much on the ring. Looks like it's about done bubbling there. Who's here? It's a neighbor. It's a neighbor, quit it. Well, I think, anyways. Okay. That's pretty good. Oh, where's my rag? We're making a mess. Get on there. All right. Well, yeah, that's a longer filter. can actually get to it and you're not bound up in the block side. Okay, just a bunch of dang old looky-loos out there. The old gal across the road I got the wheelies from. If you haven't seen that, it's in the list. But she's decided to snowbird. Well, she ain't even gonna do that. She's just moving south. So now I got everybody looking and stopping and checking the sign, and it's gonna make me crazy. Alrighty, let's bring her back down to the floor and do some topside. It's been so long I can't even remember how to, there it is, the latch for the hood. Alrighty, now, I don't know what Dexos is. It's 5:30. That's what I got. Ain't blowed it up yet, so must be using the right stuff. That sounded like more fun than I'm having. Couple of scooters. Anyways, I'm having fun. Right? Yeah, I'm having fun. Okay, I like to use the funnel because I'm a mess, so anything I can do to help not make a mess. Alrighty, same stuff, just bigger. It's got a fancy little pour spout too, by golly. Now don't quit on me just because it's nice and clean, okay? You stay strong, you'll be fine. Try not to go into total shock on me. Okay, we're gonna let that sit there and drip dry. We need every dang drop we got at the price of that stuff. So since I just blocked your view, I'll move you. Alright, you'll be fine right there, I think. Okay. So this car is just a big Phillips screwdriver for the air filter housing. Alrighty. There's about 7 screws around this dang thing. But when you got all that performance in there, I guess you got to keep the lid shut. You don't want to leak any of your freedom. Now, I was just trying to be funny, but legitimately, there are 7 screws in the lid. And then you do the old slip it out of there for the triangular. Got this funny foam thing on it. You know, we've got some grass and some weeds and some bugs and some dirts, and but even this, all in all, for as long as it's been going, actually isn't all that bad, truthfully. You know what? This might have had a Wix already. Yeah, I'd say it did. Oh yeah, that's because you can't buy these filters at the cheap store. Anyways, so that's your difference in those. Yeah, it was due, obviously. Oh yeah, it was a Wix. It's because I got to go to the parts store every time I need a filter. Okay, how's that? Actually, not too bad. Mama's grocery getter doesn't get off from the asphalt too many times, so her stuff's usually pretty clean and, well, mechanically pretty clean, so I don't worry so much. Like I said, living out here where everything is just straight highway usage. But man, this freaking hose back here is a hoser. Okay, you just gotta wiggle it right. You can probably make it easier by taking this clamp and unplugging your mass airflow sensor and just taking the whole thing out of the way, but you know, struggle bus. Okay, I must have a screw. Oh, yep, screw fill down in the way. There we go. No, not yet. That one fell in the way over there. Come on. Come on. Do you really need 7 of them? Can we delete that one? No, we better not. She'll be mad. There we go. We got her now. 5. Nope, that was only 4. This one's 5. 6. And 7. I ain't kidding you. There's 7 of them in this thing. Alrighty, you done dripping every drop? That should do it. Should be about all it needs. Well, that puts it on the mark. Fill the filter and 4 quarts in the engine. Now, probably start it up here for a minute and see if it drops any level. Maybe a half a quart more. I don't remember. But anyways, I'm going to start it up, reset the oil counter, and then I'll find out if I'm done with it or not. I don't know of anything else, but I don't drive it much either. Oh, somebody took the key fob in. Guess I'll go get that. Well, I just had it running for a minute. Sure enough, even charging the filter, it sucked her down a quart low, or 3/4 of a quart low. The rest of this quart, it's a 5-quart system. So I'll get that in there, hopefully without spilling. Ooh, almost. Now while it was running, tried to go through the info center and just push a reset on that oil counter thingamajigger. I forgot, the hood was still open. It won't let you go past the warning that the hood's open, so I guess I'll have to do that when I shut the hood, okay? This one's pretty easy though. You go down to oil life and you just hold the reset. And I think it asks you if you're sure, you hit it again and it resets it. No big deal on this one. You ain't got to pump and stroke and flip the key or none of that. You know what I'm talking about. Just push a button. Yeah, I did it. Okay, it's reset. Outside of that, we're going to go for a little rip. There's lightning show in there towards town, so that'll be pretty nice if we get a little bit of rain. Probably not going that way. We're going to hit the highway up to 70. We'll know if the wheel bearing's better or not. We'll know. And if it's not, I guess I'll do the other side, but all the noise was over there, so I'm pretty confident that we're good. Clean oil, that ought to get us another 2 years and 86,000 miles, I'm sure. And filter, that's going to run forever now. So that's pretty much it over here with this silly little project. Got the wifey's car all taken care of for now. There might be a couple other things later on, but for today it's ready. She can zip it back to work tomorrow. Hopefully the shimmy's gone, and then we'll address those bold tires. I mean, we might squeak the summer out of them, but I better get started on buying them. I do that. Well, it's simple. Usually one at a time, so I better get started on that. Then we'll be ready for winter. So that's it. I ain't got nothing else today for this project. So this stuff doesn't take you too awfully long if you just focus. We all know I can't. I'm usually doing 7 or 8 other things while I'm supposed to be focused, but you guys know when wifey says now, well, it better be now. So we're done. Didn't take us too awfully long. We spent more time at dinner and getting filters than it did for anything we did today. So that's going to do us. If you guys have any suggestions, ideas, comments, thoughts, emojis, whatever, throw them down there in those comments. Otherwise, if you want to follow along and see where this channel is actually going and what it even means or what it's about, you know how to do that. And then if you really, really care, you can bang on that bell up there. But, you know, no pressure. I ain't worried. You don't have to. If you made it this far, I certainly do appreciate you. And I'll catch you next time.